Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Ox Talks. It is Saturday. It's February 24th, 2024. Hope all of you are having a productive day today. As I spoke about in yesterday's video, I hope you're taking the time this weekend to work on your preps, go through supplies, go through your backup plan. Last night I had dinner with my family and we discussed, hey, where are our meetup spots going to be if there's an emergency? And what prompted that discussion was this cellular outage that we had across the country a few days ago. I thought it was a prime opportunity to talk about that. I want to start by introducing Ryan. Hi, Ryan.
Nice to meet you, Matt.
Ryan is a friend of JB's. I was going to meet these guys a couple weeks ago up at the range, do some training, and we'll speak with Ryan about what he does and his background pretty quickly. But I was unable to make it that day, so I wanted to meet Ryan. He came over to the house today. This is a prime example of, look, I've never met this gentleman. The point is he's sitting here in my backyard. He came into my house and where my family is today. So he's a friend of JB's, he's a friend of mine. And we talk about a close circle of friends, people that you can trust. And JB said, hey, Ryan's a good guy and he has a lot to offer. He's walking the walk. And so he's here today because I want him to share. I want to talk to him and get his perspective on some things. He's in the gold and silver market. He has an excellent side gig. He's come up with his own product, which we're going to discuss, having to do with precious metals and be able to authenticate the viability of a 1 ounce silver coin. But going back to the preparedness, it's on my mind right now, and I don't know if any of you have a feeling that it's like the calm before the storm. It's not doom and gloom. It's not panic. It's just, hey, are we ready for whatever we can be ready for at this time? And so I spent the first 5 hours of the day today, in my preps today, going through everything, reorganizing, checking all the equipment. Solar equipment. We have gasoline generators, power generators, all these things that I think everyone needs to consider having as part of their backup plan. If the grid goes down, if the power goes down, if you don't have water, what are you going to do? Most people in this country have no idea, number one, what could happen, and number two, what they're going to do if something goes seriously wrong. In addition to that, I hope you're all doing some exercise today. As you can see, Ryan is a workout guy, works out on a regular basis. He'll talk about his physical fitness regimen. He does jiu-jitsu as well, which I know JB is big into and is beating me up on for not being as consistent. So that's the intro. Thanks for watching the channel. Thanks for subscribing. Let me talk to Ryan. So Ryan, let me ask you this. What do you do for a living? What is your job?
So I work at a retail gold and silver dealer, buying and selling precious metals. I've been doing that for about 3 years now. I essentially got started with that, just realizing how unstable the financial system is. And that ultimately that leads you down the road of preparing for everything else once you realize how bad it could get financially, and realizing how it could spread to other areas, socially, etc.
So I discuss this on this channel. JB and I discuss it all the time. And by the way, he was going to be here today. I have his chair sitting right here. I moved it out of the picture. I don't want to shame him too badly. He did have a family commitment, so he'll take a rain check and be here next time. But the whole idea of you started in this business when the pandemic hit, correct?
Mm-hmm. That's
okay.
Correct.
And you understand, let me ask you this, what is basically happening in the metals market right now with gold and silver? And JB and I talk about this, and I'll speak for myself. We are big proponents of physical precious metals as an alternative asset, as an asset that's outside the system, as an asset that's highly liquid, that if you need to, you can quickly go and convert it to cash, whether it be gold or silver. And obviously gold is more portable, it's more expensive, obviously per ounce by a long shot. But you have to start somewhere. It makes sense from my perspective, and I think you would agree, Ryan, to have some precious metals. Consider this as part of your overall savings plan, your overall emergency plan. What do you think about that?
Yeah, of course. When I was driving here to Palm Springs, you drive by these farms, have fresh eggs every day. If something really happens, you can bring an ounce of silver, barter for some eggs or milk or whatever you need. It'd be much harder to do with gold. But again, there's pros and cons of having each metal in a portfolio for eventually when something does hit the fan.
That's a very good point. Obviously, gold, an ounce of gold, you're not going to be able to barter for something. You want to consider, jump in if you agree or disagree, but you want to consider smaller denominations. Obviously, I like 90% silver or junk silver a lot for that kind of situation. I have a stash of that I keep, the dimes, the quarters, the Kennedys. This is pre-1964 silver. So do some research on that. When we interviewed Bill Holter, Jeremiah and I, and Aaron down in Texas a few months ago, he is a huge proponent of the 90% or the junk silver. Are you seeing that move? Are you seeing junk silver move pretty quickly?
Not as much. We typically see it move when there's a catalyst, like when there's the banking failure in 2023 or Russia invading Ukraine in 2022. There's usually some sort of catalyst, and then once people start buying a lot of it, then you see the market change quite a bit.
So what do you say to the people that say, well, I have a position in the metals, I hold a gold ETF, or I hold SLV silver ETF? What do you say to those people? Do you truly believe that they are protecting themselves the same way that somebody, let's say, for example, holding the physical metals?
Mm-hmm. You can get like price exposure through those ETFs, but I don't think that's the best way to own it, because you don't get the other benefits of having it not trackable, not traceable. No one knows you have it. When it's in a ledger on your brokerage account, then you're just getting exposure to the price. And I don't think that's the main benefit of owning precious metals.
And folks, if the grid goes down, if power goes down, if the internet goes down, guess what? You have nothing. Those are digits on a screen. And the hypothecation level on ETF metals, I don't know what it is now, but gold, it's hundreds or more than that to one paper ounce to physical ounce. So do your own homework, do your own research. We are just sharing with you what we do. Ryan's sharing with you the business he's in. Let me shift gears a bit, because you came up with, and you have a 9-to-5 job, and that's working with a gold and silver, a bullion dealer, correct?
Mm-hmm, that's correct.
And they're in San Diego?
Yep.
Okay. And you also have, and we talk about this all the time on this show, starting your own side hustle, having your own business. You started your own side hustle, and you came up with and patented a product, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's correct.
And what is that?
So it's called the Silver Coin Balance. Some of you guys might have seen it on Jeremiah's channel, where you can just test the 7 major government silver coins. Just because if you are in that economy where you need to barter, you're going to need to be able to verify it as well, because when people get desperate, they're going to start faking things with actual value and do anything they can to get by. So that's why I think it's important to have something that you could verify your gold and silver with.
Now, did you patent that product?
So right now I have a provisional patent, and once that expires, I'll be getting the full utility and design patent on it.
So this would be a product I would foresee that, if you're doing any kind of a face-to-face transaction for precious metals, right, for silver, this is a way that you could test the authenticity of whether or not you're getting a fake or a real coin, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Because I've heard stories of people going on OfferUp. They'll find a coin for, like, a gold coin for $1,500. They think it's a steal, and they'll bring it into me, and then I test it and it's fake, and they lose their entire investment because they wanted to save a few $100, kind of being greedy. So that's why you need to be able to test it yourself instead of having to bring it to someone like me who has to test it for you.
Well, look, I mean, it sounds phenomenal. I mean, you got to be careful, guys. A lot of scammers out there in every industry. It doesn't matter what it is, and the precious metals as well. If somebody can sell you something, that is fake and take the money, a lot of people are unscrupulous. So need to protect yourself. It's a buyer beware. Situation. So do your own due diligence, but consider metals as an additional form of assets, additional form of wealth preservation, additional form of savings. Mind if I share your age?
No, not at
This
all.
guy's 22 years old, and he's not that many years older than my oldest daughter. And this guy is actually doing it. He's out there. He's working. He's hustling. He's got a product he's getting patented. He's taking the right steps. Without going into too much information, he came to town today to pick up a piece of security, a tool that he is going to add to his setup and his ability to protect himself and his family. And he's training with these tools, and he's becoming more proficient all the time. And so just want to give a shout out, because this guy's an example. Everyone should, if you're a younger person watching these videos, these are the kind of things that we need to see. Being on the couch, watching TV, playing video games, and having your head buried in your cell phone all day is not the way to get ahead. And you got to start young, right? Right?
Yeah. Because if you get off on the wrong foot when you're young, it's going to be even harder to get it on the right foot when you're older. So, because I see people who are addicted to social media, mental health problems, and they're my age, and it's kind of sad to see, but it happens.
Let's talk about physical fitness, because on this channel I do discuss it every day. About over the past 5-6 years, I've made a big transformation with my physical fitness regime. Lost a bunch of weight, and I've stuck with it. Now I'm 53 years old, probably in, I'd say, pretty close to the best shape of my life. I know we talked about that off camera a bit. Share what your physical fitness regimen is. I know you also do some jiu-jitsu, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll do about an hour of jiu-jitsu every day, or an hour of Muay Thai, and then do another 45-minute just physical weights. I'll do that just about every single day.
Okay, so you're almost doing 2 hours a day of fitness stuff?
Yeah, roughly around there.
Okay. I mean, this, obviously, everyone has to do what they can do with their time constraints. I don't have that much time per day, but the point is, and you also have to look at your physical constraints, but do what you can do. Implement a strategy that you can stick to. Get those steps in every day. Do some walking. It's obviously important that you stay mobile, that you simply move. And you don't have to have a fancy gym membership and be doing that every day. It's not about impressing people. It's a matter of getting yourself in a healthy lifestyle, working on your fitness regimen. The diet is really, really important. I'll ask Ryan about that, because you cannot see results. You cannot make gains if you don't implement a relatively strict diet. You have to watch what you're eating. Would you agree?
Yeah, of course. It's half the battle.
Okay. So I hope that this has been helpful for everybody. I wanted to cover some things with Ryan, and again, we'll catch up with JB next time. I think we're going to try to do a range day, the three of us, pretty quickly. Get some of the tools out there and continue to become more proficient in these things that everybody from our perspective needs to be aware of and needs to be implementing in their strategy. We know the crime rates are going up. We're seeing it across this country, and we know exactly why. We know what's coming across the borders in this country and why it's being done. And it's breaking this country down from within. So no one is going to be there to save you. 911 is not going to work when you think when you need it, or when you think it will work. The law enforcement is there after the fact. They're not there to stop something from happening to you or your family. So we've covered a lot of things today on the video. I think I'm just running around 15 minutes. I wanted to again introduce Ryan to the channel and to the subscribers. thank each and every one of you for taking your time today. I know you have a lot of options, things you can be watching, and a lot of things to be doing, but I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And all those other things, hit the thumbs up and the bell notification. Ryan, any last words you wanted to share?
No, thank you for having me on the show.
Okay, nice to
Appreciate
meet you.
it.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
Okay, stick with it. All right, see y'all probably tomorrow. Bye.